Hi, everybody. It has been quite a while. Partially because it was the holidays, and the other part of it, as you might hear from my voice, is that I have been quite ill over the changing of the year. And I'm still not that great yet, but I still wanted to continue this project before I forget everything that I'd done to it. And when I was looking back on it in the hope to remember what it was the last time I did, I forgot. Until I went through my code and start looking, trying to change things, and found out that I was actually in the middle of coding something. And I'd forgotten about that, but let me show you what I mean. And good thing I kept notes. And in my notes, I talking about the ground. Last thing that we were trying to do last time was to flow, create like a fade over from one season to the other when it comes to the ground. And I thought we had finished that until I set it to winter, and then I remembered, right, I didn't. Let me refresh your memory. So if I put it to winter now and run it, it is it's black. It's not what it's supposed to be. So then I remembered we were working on this piece of code because of the reasons that during the winter we have a few of the LEDs that become see-through, and we needed to figure out a way to make that happen. And we hadn't done that yet. We had done it for the first 2 seasons. So for the summer and the spring, if season fade is more than 0, and if season is 2, I had to make a lot of if-else statements, and that's something that I didn't finish because in my head I was trying to figure out an easier and more elegant way to fix this, and we had multiple solutions to this problem, but it's we also ran into a problem with logic. So that was one thing that I need to fix, which is very important. The other one is the lettering. You might just saw it before I turned it to winter, but the letters at a certain point it switches, and then the color becomes like very purple, even though I really like purple, but it really becomes ugly with the beautiful greens and everything. So I want to find a way to make it more subtle. The point of it was that it was legible, that it would always be legible no matter what the background color is. But it was too much it's too much in your face, and I want to change that to a more subtle thing than what it is now. I have ideas for that one. No idea if it will work, but we might try it later. Let's see how far we get with this first. But yeah, what happens if you haven't looked at your code in a while? You forget what you did. I have entirely forgot what this was for. I remember the gist of it, what it was supposed to do. I just can't remember how we were approaching it. So I'm going to reverse engineer the code that I have to figure out what the F I was trying to do and how I was trying to do it. So we have the season fade that dictates how much percent it is in the one season or in the other. That I remember. So this statement gets pinged the moment that the fade is more than 0. And if it's not that one, for color count in range, if it doesn't have a fade, it would go pure to the color of the season. But is there a fade in here right now? Yes, there is. Okay, so if I take the fade away and say this is pure winter, will it actually give me the winter background? It does. Oh god. It's hard to see on camera, but the letters at that moment were like bee yellow. They're quite white on the camera, but they are really, really, really yellow. So that's definitely something I'll have to fix, because it's just very, very ugly. Okay, so it's the fade that's the problem. Okay, well that's... Now we're narrowing it down. Before I forget other stuff, let's just go through the seasons. Sorry, I'm still not okay. So we have the spring with the with the flowers. Yay. That looks good. Yeah, there you could see what I meant with very purple. But this is the summer. Yeah, very purple. Love purple, but not that much. Yeah. And let's go to autumn. Yeah. I'm really happy Yaravana talked me into using the reds. I really like the reds. That's nice. And of course, this season also has a weird, funky color. Cyan. Oh my god. Okay. So. But the problem was winter. Oh man. Trying to stifle a cough is really hard. Okay. So we know... Wait, that doesn't work. Okay. But we want it to go through the if statement that if season fade is more than 0. So right now it's going to give us a blank. Will you give me a blank if I go to autumn? It would be from autumn to winter, I think, in this way. Yeah, autumn doesn't work. Summer, do you work? So it would be half summer, half autumn. This way. Yeah, it is. Okay. If I say spring, it would be half spring, half summer, and that should also work. Yes. So it's everything that has to do with winter. So going from autumn to winter and from winter to spring, it's not working right now. So that's something you would really need to fix. Okay, right now this one gets activated if we are talking about spring to summer and summer to autumn, because autumn is 2. So if the season number is lower than 2, this for loop will get activated, which works fine because it has nothing strange in it. And we were working on this one. So right now, if I look at it correctly, it goes, well, if season is 2, so from autumn to winter, do this. Can't remember what it does. So we simply activate it and see what it. Oh. It gives us a syntax error. Okay. Where's the syntax error? Is that a syntax line 371? Here? No, it's not that one. It's not this one either. And I do think it's at the same height, so that's not the problem. Isn't it nice that the error that they give is always so accurate and correct? It's so helpful. Right now it does the same thing, right, as the one before. It's just a copy paste of the one before. And then why isn't it just working as it should? Well, let's say, did I grab season 2 for this one? Yes, I did. So this should run right now. Let's try it with a different season. Most likely it will still go into here because this is the first one it runs into, and it would work. Should work. No, it's not the indent that's causing the problem. Okay, let's just try it again. But we have to change a few things in order for that to work. Let's put you on one. Pardon? If, yes. If, no. If, yes. Did I make a typo? No, I didn't make a typo. Is it because I need to put in an else? Maybe? A catch-all, or else it just goes nuts. Well, it's already going nuts, but... Invalid syntax. It is this, right? It's that we have to say, oh, you... Sure, I'll just keep poking at it until one of it works. It will work eventually, because I want you to work. Invalid syntax. Blah. I know for sure. Will it now print nuts? It prints nuts. Okay. So it is going through. It's skipping this and going straight to this. There's something in here that it doesn't like how I stated it. Did I? Wait. I made a typo, didn't I? I made a stupid typo. Because is also marked in orange. Is that the problem, though? Is that what's causing my difficulty? Ah, it is. Great. Cool. Okay. So now we can go if season is 2, blah, 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 blah. Yay. Okay. It's working, and now you immediately see what the thing is, that why we have to make it a different thingamajig is because these spaces are supposed to become see-through, and they're not see-through now. So on these spots, oh my, okay. I need to use ground colors for that, because I made like a whole list here in which I state that a certain winter color. I only have 2 winter colors. Okay. And this is, okay, the thingamajig. In which we had stored all the reference of a reference of a reference. So of my ground colors, this is ground 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's, yeah, 3. I'm writing it down right now. Which I'm going to write down which positions in this array should be see-through. And we're going to grab 3 because it's the 4th set in the array, and then it's gonna be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So position 4 is see-through. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And position 9 is see-through. So those 2 are see-through for me, or should be. And the other ones are all colors. So this is position 4 in this whole thing. And this is the last position, which is 9, which is see-through. But I know that position 0 is always see-through. So maybe I can find a way to make these ones reference 0. And make it work that way. Instead of saying, oh, and. which would yeah. How do I do that with the other ones, actually? I do ground color fade. Oh yeah, that's what I did. I was making a reference of a reference, and I forgot that I pre-mix my colors in a ground color fade, and then actually use that to make it go. Cool. So I'm filling up the ground colors fade, which is 9 positions. Well, 10 actually. But 0 is a number. And here I mix them. Why couldn't I mix it with 0, 0, 0 though? I have to look at how I am doing this. Okay, first I say, oh, the ground color fade array, the color count, which is like, if we grab the first of the first in the first set, the first position. Okay. And how does he think about that? I really hate it that I can't scroll to easily to the left or right with this thing. It just disappears every time. Oh. So how do I do that? I grab the color from this array at the top, use the season as a number. So with winter it would be like season 3, so that would refer to this one. Then I would say the color count. Well, if we would go to the first of the first, it would be 0 at that point. And what we do with that, grab that and we say multiply by fade -1, or -1, or 1 minus the season fade. So that would be in this case 0.4. But 0 multiplied by 0.4 is divided by 0, is it? It's just 0. So you can't really use that. Because the idea is that this little piece would calculate how much of the color remains and adds that to how much color remains from the other one. But this will come out as 0, because that's what 0 times whatever does. And this one has a color of autumn, but it will not. Will it take it away? Season +1, so that would be the winter one. Yeah, and right now it was going from winter to spring, but as it is said now, it's going from autumn to winter. Season plus 1 times the season fade. It should still work, yeah. The thing about it, it will have color, but it's not see-through. That was the problem that I was running into, yeah. The color will diminish, but it will not become see-through until it's entirely gone. And that's where the problem comes in, because when the ground fade, color fade happens, which is here it actually gets implemented, and the moment that it says that it's 0, right? Let us go the see-through. Yeah, if shape Y, so that's this one, is not 0 and not, oh yeah, that's what we, this is the part that actually looks at what the ground color is and looks at what sky is and flattens it into one big array, which is the base array. But it uses this whole thing as a reference. And that works fine when we go like, oh, it's winter. And when it's winter, the number 9 and the number 4 in this big array are also see-through, so you have to use it as sky. Yay. So actually, I think we have to change stuff here and not here, because this will work exactly the same way. I think that's how we have to do it. Because the color here will diminish. I don't. Then I wonder if it's handier to the leaves that are not see-through here, to leave them at full color, because now they're doing just half color because of the fade, because of this little section in which I tell only that much % of this color needs to remain in here. But if I keep it at full for 4 and 9, and here I tell that 4 and 9 needs to be so much % of the color of the ground color fade, and the rest need to be background. Is what I need to go for. I don't know. Hmm. Let's keep this for now like this and first figure out how we're going to do that here. And if we have it working here, then we can see what's the more prettiest of options. Okay. So here, multiple things happen. Because we have ground brightness. And that has to do with the moon blue. It's great. We're going to leave that for now, and we're going to work with this one. Moon blue is also going to be a thing, but I'm not going to work about. We're not going to look at that for now. So I have already made an exception. If shape is blah blah and blah 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 in the season, these ones works in absolutes right now. It's either one or the other and no gradient in between. I do say that if the shape, what's it called, the shape up there is the whole array of the background. If it's not 0, so if it's not one of these, and it's not season 3, and shape 9, so if it's not 9, and there's a lot of, if you were here the last time, you know that we fiddled around with this a bit. And if it's not season 3 and shape 4 that we put down here, go ahead and give it a color. If not, ignore it, skip it, and go to the next one. So that's what we have now. And I think we need to break this up. So if shape is not 0, that's the first one we need to go with. Let me make a copy of this first, because just in case, and I can fiddle around with it a bit more. So what am I thinking? We need to scrunch this up and pack it even more different. So if shape is not 0, cool, right? Then it needs to continue. Then we need to make the check if oh, no, that's not one. This or I think it should be or this. So either when it's not 0, okay, so it goes to this one or this part, because that's not 0 in the shape. If season is 3, which is winter, and we need to fix that though. Okay. Hmm. No, this is the first check it needs to go through. And then it needs to go through if season is 3 is winter, but 2 and what was it? Was cold fade? And if the season fade. Oh, going after an R9, yeah. Yeah. Okay. So what I'm telling it, if the season is 2, so that's autumn, or season is 3 and the winter, so that's an or. So if either of these ones is correct, which they can't both be correct, but if one of them is correct, this will be a true. And the season fade is more than 0, if that's true as well. Then we're going to check for the next bit. I hate it so slow. Then I make a check which of these shapes there is. Shape blah or shape blah. So it's a tree branching thing generally. So if it is one of these two seasons and the fade is there is a fade there, then it will check if it's either shape if it's either 9 or 4, and then we can say, okay, do this. Okay, yeah. And we can also add in the base. We just have to see what we're going to do with the ground brightness, though, but that'll be fine. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. So now, actively, we did not actually change the code. We only made the path that it's taking more accurate so that we can change it. There are going to be a lot of else's though, because we have a lot of ifs here, but that's fine. We can catch things later on, and that's kind of the point of this, that we can catch it. Now I'm thinking about, I do not have a good track record with an if else, but we'll find a way. Okay. Yeah, because this... is it this one? Oh no, it's a keyboard interrupt. Else, in the sense that if it's shape 9 and 4 blah blah blah, else, right, it's still going to be this. I wonder, we're going to play with that later, I think. Because this code can go for this if, but it could also function for this if, and for that if. Oh boy. And we still have this version also, which is going to be cool, I think. I'm wondering if I can incorporate this whole mess with this. Somehow. And maybe I can change it also. Oh god, I'm having a mind of a squirrel. Because I was having the problem with this, that if the sun goes down and the moon's already up, it will go from darkish black to blue. And right now I'm thinking, can't I just do it in such a way that it checks how much blue is already in here, instead of doing the multiply, in the sense that if the light is bright enough and the blue value that's in there is already more than the blue value of the moon blue, then don't add to it. But the moment that the sun goes down and the moon blue, the value of the color goes lower than the moon blue, it will go back up. I'm thinking. But I'm not really giving it an exact value, am I? I'm saying so much percent of the color. This is not making it easy. But that might be something I can deal with. In a sense that I might be able to use ground brightness. If ground brightness is more than moon blue, then yeah, I might think of it later. First, tackle this problem. I'm still working on it. Cool. So, if this is the case, what I want to do is have this, which is the color of the ground, but do a similar thing like the fade. Shouldn't I? And grab the so what I want to do, say have this, which is times season fade. Oh, but that's also not going to work. It's only going to, yeah. It's only going to work if it's season 2 and not if it's season 3. Oh my god. Let's just work the season 1 forward. So there we have that one. Don't put that away. We're not done with that one yet. So we got that. That'll work. Times. Which is going to be the base that we're working off right now. Which is going to be times 1 minus season fade. Times ground brightness. So then it takes a percentage of the color ground that we put in there and multiplies it with the, or mixes it, fades it with the sky color behind it. I think that should be here. Or should it be in here? Uh-oh. I can take this out now, but I think it will break a lot of stuff. Let's try it anyway. Comment out. Go. Because I don't know what it's going to do with that one. Okay. Indent doesn't match any outer indent level. Line 434. No, it's because it doesn't. Should be that one. Maybe that one. Cool. Oh. It has the right background color. I'm looking at it. But it's quite dark. But maybe that's because it's still an autumn an autumn thing. Yeah. I'm going to reverse it in a second. Because... Because right now, if I would put season fade to 1, it would actually give more to the sky. More winter. It will become more see-through. I mean, because I did it the wrong way round. And I should have known that because I did it the other one as well. Now let's go for it. So if I put the fade more to, because it's 0.6 now, if I put it more to the autumn side, will it be darker and have autumn leaves on it for me? Yeah, looks more autumny. Let's draw it into extreme. That looks very autumny. It has already a few. No, it doesn't. I just thought it was already a few see-through, but that's the bark coming through. Okay, so that looks good. Let's go to the other extreme. Oh, that looks good. It's hard to. It feels like it's there isn't much of a transition, but it definitely is. I'm giving my bunnies a little bit more hay. Being nice and sweet. Not giving too much trouble, but they're hungry. Cool. Okay. Now let's see if I can break it. So I'm pretty sure most likely I will break it now. Will I break it now? No? What? Yes. I have broken it. And I think I know where that is. Because right now I'm only telling it, oh, if it's a season, do this. If it's season 2 or 3, do this. Okay. I wish I could tell it to... Can I tell it to go to a different else? Let's just try. Don't know if you don't try. Right? No! I just want my cursor here. Okay. It's sticking in autumn. Oh, because I said summer. What if I say spring? Okay, it's halfway through spring to summer. So that one's working, but is it though? Is it really though? No, of course it isn't. Okay. That's the problem with having so many ifs. So if we can get these two ifs together, just gonna give it a go. Because then we can say go away. So now he needs to have true on both sides. If this is true, this true, and this true, then this will become a true in its entirety. And if either of one of these is true, this becomes true in brackets, and both of them needs to be true in order to get into this for loop. If it's not, it will go for the basic stuff. Okay, let's have a sunrise first to see if it actually did stuff. It did stuff. Yeah. Yay. Cool. Now to deal with the moon blue. No, first with something else. With the first one of the things that I said. In that, with creating the ground color fade array, we already fade this color. So we need to tell it with this one, well, not this one, that if it is a certain season, a mix of two seasons, so season from 2 to 3 and from 3 to 0, so from autumn to winter and from winter to spring, it needs to grab the full color. So I don't know how to do that, but we're going to try it anyway. I wanted to say that the color blank might be a good idea now. Blank. Ah. No, zeg, kom. There we go. Is that? So let's start with the first one. So if the first one is blank, then we're just going to say right? Then just in the sense like grab the color of that one. I also see that we have the same problem as with day and night. So we say, oh, it's a season +1. Problem of being, if it's winter, it has no +1. It should go back to 0, which is spring. No. So we're going to do the same thing and make another variable. And here we say season next. Yeah, 0 right now. We create an if statement if season is uh, 3, then season next is 0. Should make it if it's higher than 2, which is 3 or 4. If ever something happens and it goes to 4 for some stupid reason, then here it will reset it back. And here we'll just say this season +1. Okay. So we have that sorted out. We were sorting this out. Cool. And then we go, but else if I grab this one and say season next is blank color, then we do this part, right? Yeah, this part. This doesn't need to be in brackets. It's not a equation. Anything. Cool. And then we have the last catch all, which is just going to be this whole mess. So now it checks if it's season 2. It could be season 2 or 3 or 0. My brain is starting to hurt. It's late, but it's starting to hurt. No, it only needs to check if it's season 2 or 3. Because from out 3 and we have a fade, that's when it goes. And when it's season 0, it means the fade is done between the winter and the spring. So, yeah. So, else if season. It could just be an else. Because it goes to 2, 3. Yeah, it can be an else. And it should still work. Let's see if my assumptions are correct. No, they're not. 388. Oh yeah, because I already had an else. It says nuts. Okay. Let's get that out of there. That looks good. It looks kind of see-through, but not entirely. And of course the moon thing doesn't work yet, but we're looking at it during the day. Okay. I could simply put the moon to like, can I put the moon to a different phase? Moon phase 0. Let me see. Moon phase. New moon is 4. So we shouldn't have any moon blue. And then it would still work at night. And it's not. It's working during the day. Cool. Nice. Should we check if our season next works? Just curious. From winter to spring, or is it going to just break down? Oh. Wait. Why does it work now in the dark? And with autumn it didn't. I'm just happy this works nevertheless, but still. Yeah, it's not entirely true. Because it's supposed to be semi-see-through, but it is entirely see-through. So I think I already know what's going on. But... ooh, baby. I'm liking this. Cool. So it is grabbing the right season. So great. So we're done with this. With the making the ground color fade. Which is cool. Okay. But then here. This now works. Let's grab this away to give me some more space. But I still want to do something with this. It's if I could incorporate it in here. Oh no, I'm not done with this. Because I was thinking about this. And right now it's not going to work. It does work if it goes from autumn to winter. Because the higher the fade, the more of the background we're going to see. Which is cool. which works for autumn to winter, but because in the winter you want this to become more and more translucent. But when it's from winter to spring, it's going to work in the same way, which means it will not be as see-through, and from spring it will become more and more see-through, which is not what we want. So I was thinking about putting in an if statement here, actually, to say, oh, if it's season 2, do it this way. If it's season 3, do the reverse thing. But before I want to do that, I actually want to know if that's true. I think it's true. It makes logical sense that it's true, but Yeah, I know it's dark. Okay. Give me... Yeah. It's hard to see on camera, but I put the season fade now at 8%, which means it should be more spring than winter. And it's hard to see, but it's nearly... the branches are see-through. So what I was thinking is happening. So we need to put in another if statement. Oh boy. If season is 2, then do this. Cool. Else do this, and then we reverse the whole thing. I don't want it to go that way. I still don't know why it's so slow. Yes, it looks a lot better. You can still see during the day small bits of where it's supposed to be see-through. So that's good. But it's not a lot. Let me grab some water. Now, what to do with the moon blue? Mm. The ground brightness is going to be from 0 to 1, I think. It's all dependent on how high the sun is in the sky. It's kind of like a multiplier. 1 meaning it's going to go the full bright colors, and if it goes less, then it's going to go more to darker and eventually black. As for the moon blue here that we have, if moon blue phase is 1 or 7, then moon blue is 0.6. Oh, these are the phases of the moon. So I said if it's like full moon, let me grab my notes there with the moon. So if phases 1 is a waning gibbon, a waning and waxing gibbons both give us a 0.6 blue moon blue, sorry. And 2, which is like last quarter, and first quarter, which is like half a moon, it gives us 0.3. And if it's 0, so which is a full moon, then moon blue is just full moon blue. And all the other ones, so like the crescent moon and the new moon, which makes sense because new moon is actually similar to having no moon at all, gives no moon blue. And the moon blue itself is also dependent on how high the moon is in the sky. Yay. So the value of the blue light is very much dependent on what phase of the moon it is and how high it is in the sky. And it's calculated at first as how high is the moon in the sky, and then from that value it gets calculated, okay, what kind of shape it is the moon. And then here again it also gets different values because we want it to have more influence on blue, which is the last color in the array. So that gets the full moon blue, and the other 2 colors, so green and red, get half of it. With the sense that we don't want it to be pure blue, but we want a bit of a color. So that's why that's there. But we only want it to be visible when the moon's out. Well, actually, yeah. Well, if the moon's not out, the moon blue value will always be 0 anyway. So that's not something we calculate on. We calculate on how bright the ground is. So if it's black, it's going to give it the moon blue. If it's light, we're not. And that's where my problem is going to get in. What I think the prettiest thing would be like if you have the color as it is now and you have the moon blue, as long as the color that it is now is higher than what the moon blue is going to be, nothing happens. I can't just add them up, because then you'll get this and the color will be more bright, which is actually not what we want. What I would want is the moment that the color decreases, because the sun's going down or something like that, it will stop where the moon blue is and stay there, and it will like dynamically go along with it as the moon comes down, and maybe then when the sun comes back up, it just picks that as the main value. So the moon blue has to work as a clamp, I think. Can I make it work as a clamp? Then can't go below that one value. But we would get into trouble with the see-through parts, though, if we do it here. So we need to put it on the this one. Oh man. Yeah, but it's kind of like a reverse clamp. It can't go below that value. Then I guess. But we would get rid of this. The transition between day and night would be prettier. And now that I'm thinking about it, I made clamp as a function, right? So that I can simply put it in front and let it go. And don't have to add things to it. I'm using these crossfades a whole lot. I had the same thing with the whole sky thing. No, let's not go there. With this whole thing that was driving me nuts. Which makes me wonder. Can't I just turn that also into a function? I can immediately put clamp in there if I want to. And then if I make an error in my way of fading, I can simply grab that. I don't know, but it's something to consider. Then in that fade function, I could call it and say this is the starting value, this is the secondary value, and this is the fade step in between. And let that calculate it for me. And it would bring me back a value. And if I make it in such a way that it will take the RGB values, so the array of the 3, and it would give that back. That means we can make this a lot shorter. Not that much shorter though, because the only thing that will go away is like this and like that. So it won't get too much shorter. So I wonder. But the advantage of it is, if I am making an error in my fade, which is, let's be honest, pretty plausible, I can, I only have to fix it in one place. Well, the problem with the sky fade though is is that there are also phases of the day. It's the whole. Well, this would get somewhat shorter, wouldn't it? Oh yeah, it's a double fade thing. Is I'm fading these two colors and fading these two colors and then adding them together. Oosh. I don't know yet. Might be something to do. But that still doesn't fix our moon blue problem. Because I was thinking about making that an array. Not an array, a function. I can think of like going like, is ground brightness more than moon blue? If so, grab ground brightness. If moon blue is higher than ground brightness, grab moon blue. But should I do it for the RGB separately or for them all together? I think I could do them for them all together. That's another if statement in this whole leap of a thing. Oh! Ho ho ho. I just thought of something. Yeah. No. I was thinking too complicated. If ground brightness is less than moon blue, then brightness is similar to moon blue. Else brightness is ground brightness. My code is a shamble. Right now is 0. Okay. So that's the one step. So then we can take this out and go for just brightness. I know it means it's not going to be very blue. Oh, that one was actually good. And that one wasn't even close. Yeah, I really don't like this program. It's really not so user-friendly. No. And it's slow. It's very slow. Ooh, that did work. Okay, but we have no moon blue right now. So let's change that. Let's go to phase 1. That was very bright. That's still very bright. That could partially be because I'm giving it the full color. When it should only be like the blue coming through. Should we... turn it into an array? That way we can control the colors as they are. Let's first start with the array idea. We're saying it's an array. Right. Like this. Because then we can say, oh, it's that one divided by half, was it? Then we have that. And else, it's just this. Then what we have to do in brightness, we can use the symbol C as we see fit. See, now it's a little bit more bluish. Okay. So the transition between ground brightness and moon blue isn't ideal. So we need to change if ground brightness is less than . And is less than half of moon blue. Right? Then it needs to do that bit. Else gonna be this, but the red and the green will be that. So now it should clamp. And it looks like it's doing that nicely. Yay! And if we would tell the moon to come up later, then this will entirely be black until the moon comes up. Because now the moon comes up pretty fast. Can we make the moon rise later? can see what the sunset is, so I can also... Let's get a real difference between the moon and the sun and see how that works. There goes the sun. Black, and there comes the moon. Nicely. Yeah. I think that's gonna work. That looks nice. Okay. Let's put that back a bit. Okay. So I think I'm going to leave it for that today, because we're already streaming quite a long time. So we're going to keep it there for now. We got a long way. I'm really happy with how far we're getting. So I'm kind of excited to continue it next time, and hopefully get those ugly colors out, and maybe even tweak the code a bit to make it more legible right now, because I'm still working with the whole control function that's going to control this whole thing. And that's also going to be a doozy. But until then, if any of you have tips, tricks, suggestions, anything is welcome right now. I would really appreciate it, and anything helpful would be great, especially for this project, because I'm very much out of my depth with this one. And I'll hope to see you guys next time. Bye bye.